When we think about a successful negotiation, usually we have in mind a unique outcome. This is not always true, as there are many possible outcomes that can fulfill the initial negotiation objectives. For example, an employee wants to negotiate a salary raise with his boss. He's preparing his negotiation strategy, focusing his attention on how to convince his boss that he deserves a salary raise. But he forgets that other negotiation options would be acceptable beyond an immediate salary raise scenario. Some possible options are receiving a salary bonus, an increase in the variable part of the salary, instead of an increase in the fixed part of his salary. Receiving a prize for achieving results, monetary or not. Participating in an expensive training, partially or totally funded by the company. Being formally considered for a promotion in the next year, and consequently receiving a salary raise. That is, there are many legitimate options that lead to received benefits increase, which can be more in line with his boss' interests and, consequently, easier to be negotiated. The objective of his negotiation, therefore, would be receiving more company's benefits, and this is possible not only through a salary raise, which opens the possibility of many other negotiation options. The variety of options in a given negotiation is almost always there to be discovered, but negotiators hardly take this into account when elaborating the negotiation strategy or during the negotiation process. These options are more easily identified when one or more negotiators actively look for options in a conscientious and explicit way, and or when the negotiation process in place allows ideas brainstorming, generating options cooperatively. This is possible when the relationship between the negotiators is good and when there is trust. In the example of a couple discussing which film to watch in the cinema, if an action movie or comedy, very likely there is a third or even a fourth option available in a nearby theater. Or they could decide to watch a TV movie or a streaming one. The options are many if they are open to discuss them and not only limiting the options to the original two. After all, the main objective of this negotiation should be having fun watching movies and not watching movie A or B specifically. In complex negotiations, options can combine innovative items, not necessarily related to the original negotiation. It is possible in a car purchasing transaction, for example, that the buyer is willing to pay a little more for the car if he receives technical assistance for 3 years, or if he receives a lottery ticket, or if he gains insurance for a year, or if he wins a trip for 2 to a Caribbean resort. The options are countless. The important thing is not limiting oneself in just one desirable negotiation outcome, just one negotiation option, and build your strategy upon a single scenario. It's more complicated to have a strategy as broad as that, but the possibility of success, and success here meaning having your main negotiation objective achieved, but with the objective as widely defined as the negotiation option range, the possibility of success becomes much higher as well. We'll continue in the next video.